Hello and welcome back to Sunless Skies. Let's start our first game. Reading of the will. 3 weeks have passed. This morning, Captain Whitlock received a simple memorial service. Her body was consigned to a necropolis train bound for the Serene Mausoleum. Now you sit, with a handful of her relatives and threadbare offices of her solicitors. A methodical notary is reading the will. The captain was wealthy once, but squandered her capital on mysterious expenses before her expedition to the Blue Kingdom. Captain's relatives, from whom she was mostly estranged, are clearly wondering why you are here. Well, let's listen to the end. True to her word, in a final coincital, the notary announces Captain Whitlock confirmed possession of the Orphean to be passed to its first officer. He peers at you with dry gray eyes. This includes a certain black box contained in the Orphean's hold. Captain Whitlock's final request was that, at the time of your choosing, you transport said box to an address in London, hands you an address card, and deposit it there. You are not to look inside. She gave no explanation. And that's it. You're captain now. The Orphean is yours. Captain Whitlock's legacy. You can investigate the black box at New Winchester. You can take the box to London as requested, or you could sell it and be done. You have been bequeathed a large black box once belonging to Captain Whitlock. You gained 100 sovereigns. Your total is now 196. Okay. So I've got 8 out of 10 crew members. 8 out of 12 things in the hold. I don't think I need to repair much. Ambition, wealth. It's not enough to be rich. One must be seen to be truly, lavishly importantly wealthy. An opportunity. The fastidious inspector. Excuse me. Well, let's hear what they have to say. Excuse me, Captain. One pushes through the crowds towards you. She is short and square-shouldered, in a neat black suit and polished shoes. She shows you the case of her pocket watch. It's embossed with the crown and hourglass of London's horological office, the body responsible ensuring time is consistent across the empire. I'm hoping to book passage to Port Prosper, she says, slipping the watch away. I can, of course, pay. New Winchester. Oh, I just backed up. Pay sounds promising. Thank you. The locomotive I was on broke down following a boiler rupture. The chief's engineer's fault, I suspect. Gentleman found her a brandy of intelligence. Here, initial sum to seal our bargain. Oh. Prosper lies to the northwest of New Winchester. Not that there's such thing as north, south, east, or indeed west out here. Instead, London cartographers picked 4 of the brighter, more reliable stars visible from the Empress's new palace and named them north, east, south, and west. Londoners value familiarity. Fastidious Inspector. You're transporting a Fastidious Inspector to Port Prosper. You've gained 50 sovereigns. Fastidious Inspector has joined your engine. All right. Let's explore the city. Smoggy, clanking, singing, stamping, thronging, frantic hard to the reach. Ever-expanding port of soot-smudged glass and bright steel, spilling across a drifting, mist-wrapped archipelago. Its factories thunder, its engine sheds ring with hammers and hiss with steam. Locomotives chug into sidings for repair, or flare across the sky and away into the high wilderness. Learn about trading, visit the Promise of Days, inquire about the Winchester War. Let's learn about trading, since I haven't played this game before. Successful Skyfarers fund their expedition by dabbling in trade. Inquire whether there are any good trading opportunities available. On the pedal trail, porter at the station advises you to visit the nearby pub, the Promise of Days, and talk to the seasoned captains there. They keep their ears to the ground. They'll know an opportunity or two. There's Promising Days is one of the options when exploring the city. Okay. How goes the war? Slow burning war for the Reach forms in the backdrop to daily life in New Winchester. Citizens wishing to keep up with the developments in the war turn to the New Gazette. It is famously the only newspaper worth reading in New Winchester. It is the only paper that hasn't bankrupted itself. Its quality speaks for itself. That's not always the case. Here you can read about the progress of the war, check your reputation with the factions, and who currently controls the Reach. Careful analysis of the balance of power within the Reach. Assembly runs New Winchester from Victory Hall and seeks to strengthen his hand in the Reach. London's proxy, the Windward Company, however, maintains a considerable presence in the Reach. Although New Winchester is still neutral ground, tensions are mounting within and without the port. Are they talking about me? Probably not. I just became a captain. Name does not appear in any of the Tackety Focus reporting of the war. Apparently you're not considered worthy of comment. No mention of you among the stories of Stoppipe recent fortunes. You're not of interest to them. Read about the latest news in the New Gazette. I guess I can't. Ambition, wealth. Purchase the governor's manor. No, don't think so. What are the requirements anyway? You need 5,000 sovereigns. Recruit the incautious driver. Specialize in test drive and looking for something quieter. The driver indicates the crash engine still smoking. Like that, without the screaming. This will get you a chief engineer who will increase your iron by 6, your hearts by 2, and your affiliation establishment by 1. Not too bad. What's your requirements? You needed 20. Okay. Well, I can give you 20 bucks. Brave or fearless, driver boards, eager to get started. I recently parted ways with the Windward Company, he explains. Personally, I think a crash a week isn't so bad. They disagreed. Oh well, live and learn. I guess we can hire on some crew. Legends have grown perilous of late. Numbers and morale are lower than they were. Today, New Winchester is buzzed with rumor. Famous Tackety captain has turned tail and fled back to London. Promised a generous pension of full pardon in exchange for selling secrets. His crew are loose ends, under a cloud of suspicion. Will they ever find work again? I'll certainly hire you on. I just need 10 gold worth. A fresh start. Initially, the crew members are suspicious. They think you might be a journalist for the Gazette. Still, they're happy to drink on your coin, and as the nights progress, their reserve vanishes. When they arrive at your engine the next day to sign their papers, they come with headaches and nausea and the last of their things. They go to their berth, ready to make for the stars again. Your crew quality is now 10. Alright, we have everything repaired. And we've got a goal. Report from your scout. It's found something. Northwest of New Winchester. You do indeed have a whistle. And a lighthouse, always useful. Wispy condensation trails across the sky, ghosts of passing trains. The winch is built to the watchtowers here. It's a fruitless attempt to deter marauders. Oh, more experience for finding Havenwood. Send out our bat. Private bat with moths until it tells you what it's discovered. Approach the memorial of the unknown rats. One by one, your crew removes their hats. Found a benefit of wonder, one of the most pleasant, least menacing landmarks of the high wilderness. Wonders immediately lower terror when draw near, so long as you haven't visited too recently. Sometimes worth taking a detour to recluse them in your routes. Yes. Longer you stay out here, the more your crew is not thrilled. Stop clock. Fastidious inspector and proceeding the galley. Captain, good day. I notice your ship's clock is stopped. Perhaps you'll permit me to repair it? She has a little case of tools and a hopeful expression. Sure, I prefer things to be right more than twice a day. Gives a grateful flicker of a smile and sets to work. Soon she has the back of the clock and has spread tiny cogs across the galley table. Obscure hieroglyphic tools gleam brassily among them. Everything has a place. Appreciate the opportunity to keep myself busy. Staring too long at the stars is harmful to the temperament. Serious inspector has a round face, brown eyes, and short dark hair. She gives the impression of being perpetually busy. So what are the duties of an agent of the Horticultural Office? She sniffs. It's of fundamental importance. At 10 o'clock of the 2nd of June in one corner of the Empire occurs the same 10 o'clock on the 2nd of June in the opposite corner. How is an empire to function if it can't agree what day it is? Unfortunately, the process is complicated by the fact that time is less reliable than it was. The hours trade has seen to that. Uh-oh. What about this hour trade? You've heard the Empress reward her favorites with gifts of years to extend their lives, and that you can become rich, mining for hours to satisfy London's hunger for them. Tangles of time. Oh, hours have more uses than that. We use them to increase the efficiency of work worlds, speed up journeys to distant regions, to resolve overcrowding in prisons. They do make my life more difficult. When the time knots and stretches like wool on the loom, more difficult but more vital. Her Majesty sees great trove of them when she assembles a throne of ours, and now even more have been found in the Reach. Miners dig them from the ground. She looks momentarily wistful. I hope someday to retire with a modest pension of years myself, to prolong the better part of my retirement. Interesting. So, tell me about this Winchester War. Reach is torn by discontent between London loyalists and the more independent settlers. There are those who feel London is a long way away and that they'll do a better job governing themselves. Frontier attracts independent spirits. We call them tacties, for the hobnail boots that are so practical around here. London, unsurprisingly, disagrees. The Windward Company earnestly represents Her Majesty's interests in the region, sometimes very earnestly indeed. The tackities call London loyalists stovepipes. Fur hats, I suppose. You boys looking at you. And you, Captain? Where do your sympathies lie? These are new lands. Why should old rules or old masters hold sway? We are never free of the past, she says, her hand touching her pocket watch. Never. Let's talk about the Reach. Wide, wild frontier. Sunless domain, but impossibly verdant, with gargantuan vines, cathedral-sized bronze woods, and livid fungal archipelagos. It's an uncouth splendor, but I miss Albion. It's the steady light of the clockwork sun. These sunless reaches are so misty and quiet, she pauses. But critical. The territories here are rich with raw hours, and enough vegetation grows on them to feed the whole of London, even if some of it is dubious shape. What happened to the Reach's sun? London made a man-made sun? How did Her Majesty defeat the old one? We warred and we won. It's not my area of expertise, I'm afraid. The sun's made the law, they say. Now Her Majesty makes it. As for the Reach's sun, she looks through the window as the lightless, stirring mist. I don't know. Do suns grow old? Do they die of natural causes? I think it would probably be better for the alternative, wouldn't it? By the way, your skills are really good. Thank you, she says, small, embarrassed silence. Possible the inspector is pleased. Rather hard to tell. Okay, I think we've discussed everything here. Good evening. And you, Captain. I think I shall make a cup of tea. Okay, we good? Okay. Oh. That's not good. Lipkinspiel. A big J. Breck gleams with frost. Its windows are dark, its engine silent. Perhaps something of value lies within. Well, let's check it. Failure. Gained 15 terrors. You've gained 42 solars. You now have a tale of terror. You lost a crew. Clamber through the hole. Your lamps reveal uncanny marks around it. Are they caused by ricocheting shrapnel or vast teeth? Boarding party search is unsurprisingly hurried. They retrieve only a handful of valuables before the hull groans and encourage them to return to your vessel. Not all of them make it. Wreck buckles with a shriek that might have issued from the throat of hell. It spins apart. Oh, my bad. Alright. When we come back, guess I need to look for some supplies. Have a good one, folks.